Hello, I'm back. Thank you for coming to this session. This lesson is talking about the positive intent, the power of love. The power of love asks us to see the best in others, even when their behavior is hurtful or inappropriate. So it's our choice whether to see the best in situations or the worst in situations. An easy example is when you're driving on the highway and someone speeds past you and whips into the lane in front of you. Do you think, what an idiot driver? Or do you think, wow, he must have someplace important to be? The truth is that we don't really know other people's intentions. We, most of the time, are taking our best guess. The power of love asks us to guess something positive rather than something negative. So assuming negative intent preps us for negative emotions, distress, defensiveness, and damage control. Basically stressing our systems. Assuming positive intent preps us for positive emotions, for wishing well, teaching, and being helpful, and soothing our systems. Since we make up other people's intent, don't you think it's better to make up something positive? Even when looking at our children, maybe that manic driver on the highway was rushing to the hospital to see his first child being born. Or maybe he's late for an appointment or a job interview. We simply do not know. Another reason the power of love is so important with children is that we must see children differently in order for them to behave differently. Positive intent is a conscious choice to teach instead of punish. Teaching allows children to learn from their mistakes. First, we must use the power of love to attribute positive motives to the child's behavior. Then we're able to help the children shift so they're able to learn. Positive intent allows a child to make a mistake and recover. It helps everyone involved focus on finding solutions instead of placing blame and making judgments. Listen to how this plays out in a book called Schubert Sees the Best. Schubert's sister Sophie hears him singing. Schubert, she asks, why do you think the other bugs at school call Crenshaw hurtful names? Are they mean? Schubert feels concern for Crenshaw, the cricket, and for his school family. He puts his finger to his head to think and says, I don't know, but I can find out at school. Come on. Schubert sings as they walk to school. Hooray, hooray, I've got questions today. Hooray, hooray, answers are on the way. At school, Schubert shares his plan with his teacher, Mrs. Bookbinder. She gives him a clipboard, a pencil, and a detective's hat and cape to help him investigate. Then Mrs. Bookbinder whispers something in Schubert's ear pss, 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 and hands him some funny heart-shaped glasses. Sophie looks up from her journal and wonders what Miss Bookbinder is whispering. Schubert heads off to start his investigation. Schubert is ready with his clipboard when Edda, the earthworm, comes out of her hole. Edda, he asks, why do you call Crenshaw hurtful names? Edda replies, he hollers out answers instead of raising his hand. I can't think with him yelling. Schubert puts on his funny heart-shaped glasses and responds, maybe answers just pop into his head faster than he can put up his hand. Says Edda, let me see those glasses. As she looks through the glasses, she says, I see. He has trouble remembering to raise his hand. I can help by raising my hand so he knows what to do. I'd rather be helpful than hurtful. Next, Schubert walks to Big Benny, the beetle. They touch knuckles to greet each other. So, Benny, why do you call Crenshaw hurtful names? Well, Schubmeister, he grabs things. You're supposed to say, may I have a turn, but Crenshaw just yanks things right out of your hand. He's a bully, Big Benny responds. Schubert slips the funny heart-shaped glasses on and says, maybe Crenshaw just doesn't know the words to use. Says Benny, let me see those glasses. Schubert stands on his tippy toes to slip the glasses onto Benny's head. You're right, little buddy, Benny exclaims. Crenshaw needs me to use my big voice. I could say, I don't like it when you grab. Ask me if you want a turn. I'd rather be helpful than hurtful. Next, Schubert approaches the ant triplets, Angie, Angela, and Angelina. What's with the detective hat? They say in unison. I'm doing an investigation, answers Schubert. I want to know why you make fun of Crenshaw and call him hurtful names. The ant triplets huddle to discuss an answer. Angela speaks up. Crenshaw doesn't sing with us at Circle. He just sits there like a bump. He's lazy. Sorry, I'm trying to get all these pictures for you. Okay. Schubert lowers the funny heart-shaped glasses over his eyes and says maybe he enjoys watching us sing more than singing himself. Let us see those glasses, responded the sisters as they squeezed 3 heads into one pair of glasses. Their faces are squished together like halves of a peanut butter sandwich. Wow, he learns by watching us, the sisters say. We can help by singing and having fun. We would rather be helpful than hurtful any day. Next, Schubert decides to talk to Crenshaw. Schubert asks him, do you think the class is mean to you? Oh, yes, Crenshaw says. They call me hurtful names and tease me. Schubert hands Crenshaw the glasses. Oh, I see. I need to teach others how to treat me. I can use my big voice and say, I don't like it when you call me names. Then I can watch and listen to others for suggestions on how to be helpful. We can help each other. I'd rather be helpful than hurtful. Schubert's investigation is over. He sits at his desk to review his information. This is hard for me. Okay, there we go. The class mean, yes or no? Etta says no, 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 no. Crenshaw mean, yes or no? No, 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 no. Sophie watches as Schubert looks over his results. What did you find out? Tell me, she chants in a sing-songy voice. Why do the bugs call Crenshaw hurtful names? Is the class mean? Is Crenshaw mean? Schubert hands Sophie the funny heart-shaped glasses as he says, well, neither Crenshaw nor our bug family are mean. She puts the glasses on and looks around. I get it, she said. We forget to see the best in everyone. We forget to be helpful. Instead, we are hurtful. Pretty cool, huh? Responds Schubert. Yeah, but I have to know. What did Mrs. Bookbinder whisper in your ear when she gave you the glasses? Sophie asked. Mrs. Bookbinder told me to see the best in others. When we use loving eyes, we become helpful. Instead of hurtful, we turn problems into solutions, Schubert replies. Then, what a surprise, Mrs. Bookbinder hands each student their own pair of funny heart-shaped glasses. One by one, they slip the glasses on and look at each other with loving eyes. Schubert begins to sing, hooray, hooray, I had questions today, hooray, hooray, answers came my way. The class is enchanted by what they have learned. Joyfully they sing along. Okay, that's just kind of a fun little way, sorry about the bad videotaping, but a fun little way to remember that we can look at situations with love and see them differently than what we have experienced in the past. So positive intent is always our first step. We must see children differently in order for them to behave differently. Once we can see the behavior as a call for help, we're able to identify the missing skill behind the behavior and act to teach the missing skill. So ACT, ACT, is the acronym for this lesson. A stands for acknowledge the child's desire. Use the phrase you wanted blank. So in other words, you wanted to keep playing. C, clarify the skill to use. When you want blank, say or do blank. So when you want to play, say or do, may I please play. And then T is for take the time to practice. Do it now for practice, or so ask the child to practice, or say let's do it together and practice. So Dr. Bailey did talk about some of this in her video that we had just watched with the last lesson, and so you may notice that. So here are a few examples. If we look at a child and see a troublemaker, we're likely to raise a troublemaker. When we use the power of love to see a child who is having a hard time adjusting to a new school, we see a child we can help learn ways to cope and make friends. If we see a spoiled toddler throwing tantrums, we're likely to raise a child who believes he is spoiled. If we use the power of love to see a toddler who is frustrated that mommy is often with his infant sibling, then we will seek out ways to strengthen our connection. If we see a child who can't do anything right, we're likely to raise a person who believes she can't do anything right. When we use the power of love to see a child who needs extra reminders to get things done properly, we will problem solve ways to create routines and other supports to help her succeed. The way we see children often colors their world and ours. The power of love asks us always to see the best. Okay, that's it for this lesson. There is a little note here at the end for older children. If you wanted to use some of this on your older children, they suggest when we see something to celebrate, we can let the child choose from a celebration jar. That would be something that you would put together. And the celebration doesn't have to be anything complicated. One home idea is to draw a bunch of ways to celebrate an individual. So things like dancing, clapping, high fives, singing, group hugs are things you can put in the jar. You can also put other things that your family likes to do. Go to a movie, go to the park. And so then when you see a child doing the right thing, you can say, you did blank, so we're going to celebrate by having you draw from the jar. You did it. And then let them draw from the jar to celebrate that way. That's just a tip for older kids. That won't work for, of course, the younger ones. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you.